Hi, Janice. I think that's you. Welcome to the call.
Hi, Shelley. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. Thank you. Hi, Carol. Welcome. We got about one more minute, everybody, and then we're going to get this call started. Hello, Miguel. Welcome to the call. All right, Thomas, you want me to get the ball rolling here? Okay. All right, everybody. I just have a couple announcements tonight. The first one is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, there will be a Nexus System platform presentation. Check out your WhatsApp groups. Andrea and Mark will have all the information there. Also, I would like everybody to remember to wish Laura, Thomas's wife, a very happy birthday. Tomorrow's her special day, and we all love her. So remember to send her a message. And lastly, I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry. Dang it. For everything you've done for me this past month has been incredible, from the money, the food, the cards, the messages. I just love this community so much, and I thank you for what you've done for me and my family. So I just wanted to thank you all so much. Thomas, I can't even think to turn it to you. So there you go. Sorry, guys.
Hey, that's okay. And, our heart went out to you. We know for you to jump out and be as brave as you are tonight with all that you've went through is a step in the right direction for you. And Mama would be proud of you. So she'd say, go get them, girl. So we're excited about that. So we love you, Shelley. And we know it's been a rough week for you guys. Not many people lose their mom, total their car, and have others struggling in the hospital all in the same week. All we can do is tell you that we've been praying for you. We've been loving up on you, and that's what we do as a community. And I hope you enjoyed the pizza. So there you go. So all right. So hey, tonight, as quick as it may be or not be, I got a few things to share off of my heart, and that's we're diversifying into some really, really cool spaces. I do want to say this, that, when people hear you say that you're diversifying and whatnot, they'll hit you up. And I've never had more people share more things with me in a week's time than this last week. So I'm gonna just say what's on my heart about that. Everything looks great. Okay, I'm gonna say it my way. I wish other people were on here to hear this, because there's a few that I'd really like to hear this, that I actually shared this with, but I don't think they listen to me too much. I would be a hypocrite to say you can't join everything, okay? Yet what people don't understand is that there's a time in life. So this is going to sound a little hypocritical from what I've been teaching, right? There's a time in life to diversify. There's a time in life not to diversify. So in the crypto space, somebody can literally diversify themselves into making no money, because I got $100 here, $100 here, $100 here, $100 here, $100 here, and not one of those $100 is making them anything. And so if something's paying and you have profit going on or something of that nature, then you diversify from that to another thing the best way is with those profits. You make a decision on what things that are shareable, what things are not shareable, and that's kind of how you diversify. You diversify on the basis of competing arrangements or non-competing arrangements, right? So you factor in some things before, because we're talking a lot about diversification. For instance, one of my platforms is a total trading platform, nothing but, okay? Great. One of my platforms is the first time that I've ever got into NFTs. That's tag protocol, hashtag protocol, right? So first time I ever got into NFTs. So that wasn't competing with anything for me. And I knew for a fact that getting into the metaverse world or the meta world is absolutely needs to be a part of my future if I'm going to be in cryptocurrency, no matter how slowly I take that. And I'll tell you, I started off buying one hashtag there and then got a little addicted and bought a few more. But so that was good. The other platform I see as an answer to all platforms, and that's the Nexus platform that there's a presentation tomorrow at 6 on. And why? Because I think one of the biggest markets that we have right now is people that are afraid and have never done cryptocurrency before. And to be able to come on to True Badger with the Nexus system, then they can look at diversifying from there because they're helped by other people than me. I'm going to say it my way. And I know Andrea and Mark won't be upset about this. But with Nexus, I don't have to pay Andrea and Mark as much money because they don't have to help as many people. Now, and I get to find other things that they get to help me with. Like, you know what they did for me today? They made flyers for my Valentine's. I'm doing a Valentine's dinner for my whole church. And so Laura and I are sponsoring a dinner for the entire church on Valentine's and having their children babysat. And so Andrea made flyers for those tables. So I'd much rather have Andrea doing those things and not everybody depending on her and them learning the crypto system and the crypto space by joining Nexus. And then when they get stuck, and if it's off hours of Nexus, then Andrea and Mark can jump in there, you know, and also then they can help more with other things like Tag or Daisy or whatever it might be. So saying yes to the right opportunities in diversification can really be freeing and can really free you up in a lot of ways. And also learning to say no. One of the things that people don't think about when they get into cryptocurrency is, and I'm preaching to the choir here, is they want everything done for them in anything that they do. That is just typical for this day and age. Just look at Andrea if when I say that, because I knew that big smile was coming. Because we learned some lessons in old companies that people wouldn't even learn how to access their own money. It was like, well, you don't even know how to access your own money. What have you been doing for this last 8 months? You know, we have people that's been in one of the programs with us for a year that doesn't know how to get their money out. You know, it's like, oh, geez, man. All right. So, but I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is what I love about the Nexus True Badger system is that I literally can tell somebody, hey, that's what the onboarding program is all about. Go ahead and jump on there if you get stuck. And I literally have not had to help anybody do anything on there besides when we get on here on Friday morning and help people to stake their coins and stuff like that. That's the only help that I've done for anybody to get into that program, because they have employees that they set apart to help new people and old people if they're stuck, and not meaning old in age, old to cryptocurrency, if they get stuck somewhere because it's new, or they don't know NFTs. None of us know NFTs. NFTs is all new. And in the process of doing that, I can always send them there. So I can't tell you how different all of my platforms are to diversify together, and what a blessing I believe that True Badger and Nexus is. You know, I can use Shelly as an example, that I know for a fact that Shelly is not as interested in the crypto space as some of us may be. Okay. But I know that she knows that almost everything's going that way. And I'll go to bet you that if she got on at some point, not now, okay, at some point, if she got on with Nexus, that she would go, I didn't do anything but whatever they told me to do, and be very excited about that, you know? And so that's really important. So we were talking about, for some of you that joined late, about diversification, and that there's a time to diversify, but there's also a time to diversify with wisdom, and there's a time not to diversify. If you're putting $50 in every single thing that comes up, it's bad diversification. You have to pick a few things that don't compete, or if they compete, that complement each other, because you're trying to grow that portfolio. But do you guys know, and if you don't know what NFTs are, I say go to YouTube, do some research, because I didn't even plan on teaching on here, by the way. So, but do some research on NFTs, because they say very soon in much of the crypto space, your asset value will be based upon your NFTs. Your portfolio so let's say that something new is launched in Tag Protocol. If you don't own an NFT or buy an NFT in whatever project they're bringing on board or whatever, then you probably won't have access to the events. So let's say it's a music platform for NFTs, or a sports platform for NFTs. Without owning one, that's your ticket to admittance. Okay, so it's kind of like well, if I didn't have a ticket to the Olympics, or a reason to go to the Olympics because I had a kid in it or something like that. This year, and the Winter Olympics, bad example, because everybody's got opinions on whether we should even be in the Winter Olympics or not. So that was a bad example to use. Let me think of a better example. Oh, a kid's high school basketball game. Your kids in basketball, your grandkids in basketball, but in the only way that you can have an entry is if your student is in that school. So unless you have an NFT in the projects that are going on, you won't have total access to a lot of things. Well, right now we all have such prime access to the new scenarios coming out in NFTs. And if you don't know what NFTs are, we'll do more on that. But go to YouTube. All you got to do is Google. It's go to YouTube and put in what is an NFT, and you'll be flooded. Okay, so or Google it and look it up and whatnot. So same with crypto, same with everything. Okay, but all of that's tying together now. Matter of fact, one of the platforms that was they're voting today Many of you might have heard us talk about a coin called Avalanche not too long ago when Alan Delaney and myself were talking about them one night, and DAP. But Avalanche found out that one of the co-founders there was a guy that was in a program that shut down and wasn't a good situation. Okay. So since that wasn't a good situation, they've released them from the Avalanche program, but Avalanche was going to tie. Here's what the job of Avalanche was: to tie Ethereum and Bitcoin together, the two blockchains together, to be workable. So right now, what's going on in the whole metaverse world is all of these different cryptos, all of these different payment systems are being tied together. So the technology that's coming out is just so magnificent. And the simpleness of NFTs and stuff is so magnificent that it's very attractive to get a part, to be a part of a lot of them. So we have a platform that I can promise you with Nexus is getting involved in some very, very big spaces. And why do I know that? Because some of the names that they're using, I'm reading in articles all over the place, like Mulan and all of these things that they're working with are tying together some things. Okay. Tag Protocol is so unique because it's just this guy back there that does nothing but write code. And it's one of the truest formats of a DAO that I've ever seen, because he don't want to be involved, he barely likes to get on the presentations, and they're not putting together an organization like that. It's like, hey, many technologies are going to need to use tag token or stag coin token in order to even participate in that universe, in that ecosystem. So in order to participate in that, we're at early stages. We're buying hashtags. Those hashtags are going to be a part of something way bigger. So there's so many opportunities. I do believe the things that we've been announcing to you are just a few. And don't dare let what I'm saying stop you from anything else. I'm just saying, don't pop around so much that you can't see where your popcorn's popping. Try to keep your popcorn in one popcorn popping dish, and then you can add flavors to that one dish, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I got movie watching on my mind, since me and my wife, we just hung on the wall right before she got home. I hung on the wall because I couldn't do it myself. I got some guys come over and we hung a 77-inch TV. And that sucker is fun to watch. Boy, we watched some movies on there today and it was fun. So we've had it for one day. So it's my wife's birthday tomorrow. And so tomorrow I'm kind of out of the picture. Wednesday, I'm full bore at it. So with that, I do want to try to make, if she didn't lose us, and it looks like Sarah lost us. Did she lose us? Yeah. If Sarah comes back on, remind me so I can make her a co-host. But Andrea and Mark, feel free to jump in if needed. But I didn't even plan on talking as much as I just talked about, and that's when you really know that it's coming from my heart. Is when I ask God for His words, not mine. And I do that every call, by the way. If you don't know that, get on sometime early and you'll hear me pray it, because I do every time, don't I, Andrea? And so it is God's words, not mine, for whatever we need to hear tonight. But I didn't have anything specific for any specific thing, because we've had guests for 3 weeks. And since we've done that, I'm going to give everybody the ability to unmute and to ask positive questions about the diversifications that we've headed in. If somebody wants to ask questions in a negative manner about anything that I'm in or whatever, just save your breath, because I'm gonna probably avoid it and turn it to a positive. But you can. I'm not saying don't, just know that I'm gonna, my whole purpose is to not dwell on what isn't and to dwell on what is right now. And but anything in the crypto space, anything in the NFT space, anything in the metaverse space, and anything in anything that we're in together, bump card, I don't care. Ask away.
I have a
Marcia,
question.
go ahead, Marcia.
I am still wondering, I have some money in Shiba Inu
Uh-huh.
and in Dogecoin, and I'm just wondering, I mean, is it wise to hold it there? That's the thing I'm curious about, because as you know, it's way down. So I'm just wondering.
Yeah. As low as things are right now, I wouldn't sell off anything until after February 6th. Not a damn thing. Let at least another week go by, because you just don't know. Okay. And I will say that there's been multiple articles in multiple places. If you go on to YouTube, there's a guy, I wish I could pull it up, that has been talking about some of the spike plans for Shiba Inu and not counted out, because Shiba Inu does have usability and has purpose. Now, I can't quote off to you exactly what those are, but I own quite a bit, and I will not sell. Here's what I'm not doing. You know what I was talking about with Avalanche? I probably didn't finish that story. They were saying that they just kicked out one of the leaders of the company because they didn't know that this was a guy that actually was over here that screwed over some other people. And so they got rid of the guy, and then they're letting the community vote on moving forward on the Avalanche project. And so I went ahead and took my Avalanche and sold it into Bitcoin. Okay. So watch for stuff like that, and then let your prayers or your heart tell you what to do. With Shiba Inu, okay, I'll tell you a few things. We'll talk about Dodge and Shiba Inu. The articles that I've seen, and I bet you Mark's seen the same thing. The articles that I've seen with Shibu is that watch out 2022. It's going to do some magnificent things. Okay. And that's a Bitcoin story that Bitcoin couldn't have because of the 0.000069. When you have a 0.000069, all it's got to do is go 0.00007 for you to double your money. It's got to go up 1 point for you to double your money, 2 points for you to triple your money, 3 points, and if it goes to 1 penny, you're probably a millionaire with what you have. 1 penny, if it goes to 1 penny. So for anybody that is diversifying, $50 into Shiba Inu right now would probably be one of the best bets you could ever make, because think of how cheap it is right now, right? I bought it at, I think I bought my first Shibu that night because I made 7,000 that first week, right, Andrea? Because Alan announced it and talked about it, and I bought in 5,000 worth. And that's a lot of Shibu, but it was 19. It was at 0.19, and then it went all the way up to 0.0043 by the time I sold out $7,000 and still had $5,000 invested in it. Okay. Marcia, what you're talking about and looking at it so low. Okay. And then let me just talk about Doge real quick. Doge, doggy, doji, diggy, dog, do. I don't even know. There's so many different names for Doge. I've always called it Doge. But Elon Musk has a big name and he plays well. When he talks in this market, usually something happens, and he's still talking positive about it. He's accepting Doge for his Tesla gear.
Oh, wow.
So that joke of a coin, two of the most wealthy men in the world play with it with their businesses. The other guy from Shark Tank,
Mhm.
he uses it at his basketball stadium for the Mavericks.
Oh, yeah, Mark, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mark.
I'm talking about.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm no good with names, but yeah.
Mark Cuban.
Mark
Cuban,
Cuban,
yeah.
that's the one. Yeah. But also, people are wondering because, when he was on Saturday Night Live, all the people that had Doge way before, when he went on Saturday Night Live and it went on that big spike up to like 73 cents. And then it did a dive because all those people that had it, they all sold. Because they made millions. They made millions. But Saturday Night Live, when he got on there to talked about Doge, ended up being a false flag and was a reason for people that had a bunch in the early stages of that to sell off. So it ended up being a little bit of the opposite of what was expected. I actually called it wrong. I actually called it wrong, and I don't ever mind calling it wrong. All you can do is go, I don't know, guys. Elon Musk talking about it. He's going to talk about it on Saturday Night Live. You tell me, and it did go up, but it went down so fast that.
I seen an article where he's talking to, I think, McDonald's Corporation, if they would use it.
Doge. Yeah.
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 That,
And all, do you guys know that McDonald's and all of those things are about to drop NFTs everywhere? That everybody's about to get in the game. Because they know if they don't, they're just missing out on a lot. People are doing it right. People are doing it wrong. I guess there's no wrong if people are paying for it. But they're all going to start dropping NFTs. So that's why I started this call the way that I did. Be warned that you can put money into everything, and then you can, you know what I have to do in the next few weeks? This is honest truth. I have to go through my email folders, which is a lot. I have to go through my email folders and find out things that I've never looked at that I'm in.
Wow.
And I have to do that, and I have to get some of that consolidated, because that's like working in a messy workplace. It is so non-productive. It's just bad to do. So me being in so many things, I got to bring it in. I'm going to sell off a few things and bring it in. And I do that all the time, but there's stuff that I look at the folder and it says Q Investments. And I'm like, what the heck is Q Investments? I don't even remember joining it, but I joined it with Ken Kelm, like when he first left Team National, I don't even remember what it was, It was like, you put 500 in mine, I'll put 500 in yours type of thing, So, okay. So I hope that helps on, now let me just round off all of that. If I own any tokens right now, unless you read an article like I read about Avalanche, I just decided to be safe with Avalanche and I sold it all today. It was $2,000 worth of Avalanche. I had only spent about $1,000 on it, so it had kept going up. But then I read that article and I decided that was legitimate, because they were actually telling people that they're not sure if they're going to keep going or not. So because how bad that guy, so in other words, that was to me that, hey, I'd rather it sitting in Bitcoin being safe. To me, Bitcoin's always safe. I don't care how down it is. It is. Because that's all manipulated market, in my opinion.
Just,
Okay, but
just another choice.
it's New Year's it's Chinese New Year's right now, right? So until February 6th,
Yeah, what's February 6th?
that's the end of Chinese New Year.
The end of what?
Chinese New Year.
Oh, so is that really important to affect cryptocurrency?
Every single year. You can look back on your calendar, Marcia. I know you've been in this game with me for a while. You can look back
Mhm.
at every year and go, wait, right before Christmas, every year, everything that was spiking up spiked back down. And then throughout January, it was always pretty bad in the crypto space.
Right, right. Yeah.
I can attest that to every year I've been in.
So it bounces back usually after Chinese New Year.
Always does.
Okay.
And this year it's going to bounce back for many other reasons because the United States is regulating cryptocurrency. There've been articles all over the place this week. And that's a good thing, folks.
Wow.
Very good thing. Some people might think that it's not. It's a very good thing. To me, it is. It might stink and they might not know what they're doing for some of it. But, and it's going to take a while for them to figure that out. But if they don't regulate it somewhat for their laws, for the laws of each country, and what, you know, I know that they need to get their hands in it too. I know that's a part of it. But if they don't regulate it at all, then we're never going to get to where we want to be with it anyway. And anyways, the new financial system is going to be 100% based off of either quantum currency or cryptocurrency, one or the other, and probably both.
Okay. Would you invest in XRP then?
100%.
Okay.
100%. XRP is so it goes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, in my opinion.
And where would you buy it? I've been trying to look into
I swap it on Exodus.
Oh, okay.
And just remember, if you're swapping Ethereum's kind of high right now. But you know, fees are what they are. I hate to say that, but fees are what they are. But yeah, XRP is Ripple, and there's too many countries saying that that's going to be their go-between for the banks. See, because that's
right.
why it was made, and they're just saying that you know, see the SEC right now for the XR Ripple. I guess that's more Ripple than XRP, or you know, but whatever the case, you know, I haven't been following it close, but from what I understand is that they should win. And if they win, in the case that they're in with the SEC, that will be absolutely tremendous for those that are hodling XRP. Secondly, is even while it's doing that, it's expanding all over the world in programs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. This is great.
You bet. Who else? William, did you have a question?
So when you were talking about the regulation, that would be separate from it being centralized?
No, that would be partially, that would be centralizing it for sure. But you know, it just depends kind of how you look at it. So there's so many different ways to say that you're decentralized, in my opinion. You know, but being decentralized is meaning that I have more control over it. But to just take the money that you're making and use the currencies of the world in the cryptocurrency space, there has to be some sort of transitioning and all of that makes sense, and monitoring, or there's no tax system, there's no government, there's no whatever. So depending on how that works out, you know, some say Jassar and Nassar is going to take care of that anytime now. You know, there's a lot of things that can play there, but all that I can tell you is that the cryptocurrency space has been told that they put together a committee to find out what it means and how they need to regulate it so that they're participating correctly in it. And that's going on everywhere from JP Morgan to Biden, you know? And so, so whatever the case may be, you know, I think some people want to claim that Trump doesn't like cryptocurrency. I've heard a couple of people say that, and that's just a bunch of bull crap. But because I actually believe that he is a mastermind when it comes to decentralization and that, because he took the Federal Reserve back for the United States, so, or he got it under the United States control for the.
What was that he was trying to start? What was it called? The Gasara or something like that?
Well, Nasara Jasara, you can go to Nasara Jasara page, and that's actually reenacting some bills that were trying to be passed way back. I believe right before Kennedy died.
Hmm.
And it's you can look it up.
Okay.
And because you know, sometimes I say things, if I ever say things on here and you guys go look it up and I said something wrong, be okay with that. That's not what this is about. I am not an expert. I am not the brainchild. I'm doing my damnedest to bring out good information from what I learned. But man, don't put me on no pedestal when it comes to this community, because here's why. It's going to be different in 2 months.
Yeah.
Every 2 months, I'm going to, you know, we're learning new things. It's going to consistently change. But when it comes to all the flags and false flags and true flags and everything that's going on in this world right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the frick to believe. That's where I am right now. You know, supposedly in next week, there's some medical, there's some things coming out next week, supposedly, or very soon, that will turn the medical field on its head, and most every disease that we have out there will be curable with med beds and some different things that are coming out. I don't know.
Really quickly, what was when you're doing the hashtags, what was the name of the site?
I think that Andrea wrote them in the chat.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Yep, so they should be in the chat, but tagprotocol.io would be one place to go. And also just get with that would be Andrea, right?
Yes.
She knows one or two things.
Tag protocol.
Yeah, .io. Go ahead, Linda.
Thank you.
The staking on Friday morning, is that for True Badger?
It's for everything. We kind of
Okay.
go through whatever we need. Like on True Badger, that's such an easy staking for SafeUFi. See, because 2 of their tokens are already Andrea, one of our tasks is to get whatever it's called that a True Badger is, and what kind of mining or staking they do. Because if you hold True Badger or NFS, you're making money every day.
Mm.
Okay. With SafeUFi, you can be staking it and making more money, and it's so easy. It takes 30 seconds to do.
Is there a minimum that you have to have? I thought it was like $75 worth of True Badger to do staking with it, or
to be a part of their launches and their new programs. It was $100, but I think they've gotten that a little bit more flexible because everything's on a dip right now as well. So as long as you own some is what I would say, you know, because they're not trying to keep anybody out of this system.
right. Yeah, I definitely getting on there. We got stuck, and they were great help.
Weren't they?
Yeah.
And,
But
And True
I just-
Badger's their main thing.
Right.
And Andrea,
Yeah.
please unmute and jump in if you know the answers to any of what's been being said, because I'm not just here to talk, you know?
I don't know what the coins are. I've been looking to see. I did look through Google and stuff to kind of see what the name would be, and I have no clue what kind of coin they are or token.
Well, I just heard on one of the calls that they were staking True Badger and you needed at least $75 worth. And I didn't know, I don't know where to go to ask the questions. I guess that's
Oh, right onto that, right onto the
the onboarding.
Stuck,
Yeah,
but-
you betcha. That's what it's there for.
Okay.
But True Badger's the mainstay. So
Right.
what I'm trying to find out is what it's called of the automatic, by owning tokens, you're of any sort on NFS or is it NFS? Yeah.
NSI.
NSI and True Badger, you are automatically making a little bit all the time with
Yeah.
it. Your token amount is going up. But on SafeFi, they just started staking SafeFi.
Okay. So I would just go to the onboarding to find out what it would take to stake SafeFi. Is that?
Yeah, so you would have to have some True Badger and some SafeFi, I guess.
Yeah, we have both. So
Yeah. And I know they just lowered the amount because they did the youth program. So they launched a youth program and they wanted to make it so a college kid could get in cheaper.
college kid and old people.
Yeah. But you got to be 30 or younger on this one.
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't quite make it either.
I don't think I could convince him of that.
Yeah, William might, but yeah. So yeah.
Shelley probably could.
Yeah, but I just want to find out because I've heard Peter say what the kind of blockchain is, because that's what it is. It's what kind of blockchain they are that they pay all the time, and I don't know what that is, but I'll listen real intently from Peter one of these times, or remember to ask Jody, and I'll find that out. But anyways, that's what I love about that platform too, is there's just, I learned something all the time with it. So any other questions? Okay. I want to kind of wrap up tonight then, as simply as we can. I wanted to do this a little uniquely. Sometimes I get nervous about doing Q&As because I don't have all the knowledge in the world, but I will do all the best. And since we're just on new platforms, like I don't even know if I'm talking about Ripple and XRP together in the right conjunction. I know XRP is like True Badger is to the Nexus system, and because Ripple's just a part of it, right?
Right. In other words, XRP is like the code name for Ripple.
Okay. And so, but I know that's those are things that when I stumble over it, like on a Q&A like this, that I'm going to go study a little bit more, and try to get those answers. Go ahead, Andrea.
Redistribution is for your True Badger, which holders will receive the tokens and they get 3% static reflection. And then when they do their burn parties, you get 1% weekly from the deflation of the burn. So when they get rid of the unused tokens, we earn 1% of those.
And what was it called again?
Redistribution.
Redistribution.
And then there's a liquidity fund where every transaction will automatically contribute 4% to the locked liquidity pool, which strengthens the True Badger token.
And that's because it's a DAO and we're all owners of it. Anything else on there?
It talks about the vision, which is future marketing growth and project development funds equaling 2% of the taxes from your crypto, the token. And then contests, they hold regular contests for the Huddlers with 2.5% of all tokens allocated to reward the community in its anti-will system.
And isn't it cool that we don't individually make any money off of each other in Nexus? So nobody makes any money off of anybody individually, but collaboratively, all ships get risen by the raising of the tide. I said that like way worse than I'm supposed to say it, however it goes. So
Is there any YouTube people that are that you watch that speak on crypto and NFTs and so forth? That you
well, yeah,
personally-
yeah. About the best that I've heard is these guys that come on with. I mean, this guy the guy that was in the car the other day with Martians. It was Friday night, maybe not this last. Yeah, maybe this last Friday. Man, you know, these guys are launching an incredible platform. I mean, they got a movie coming out with it. They got a game going with it already. But there's so many places that you can look. I mean, there's a 14-year-old girl that's making millions off of Beluga Wells,
Wow.
off of a Beluga Well cartoon art, and making millions. 14 years old. So there's not anybody specific, but I will tell you that Peter and all of them, they are launching the education of education for us with the Nexus system. That's what that whole platform is, you know. I mean, every time I hear them, every time I can plug in, if I go to True Badger YouTube, if I go, you know, whatever I go to there, I can always find something. Every day I can find something, you know, in the Nexus system to learn on. Nevertheless, they have so many recordings. There's a lot out there from what they're doing, but I would try to stay more attentive to, you know, the things that they have now and some of what we're launching onto the WhatsApp page, because the Martian deal and all of that, that's like about to happen any minute now.
Sure.
If you want to own a Martian, now's the time. I've always wanted to own a Martian.
February 9th, if you didn't pre-register.
Martians. Okay. All right. So let me take us out of here. I know that this year is going to, if we keep our eyes focused on the new technologies, the new things, and we be willing to accept changes, because it's going to be ever changing, always changing. And if we don't let it intimidate us and bite it one bite at a time, why do we do Fridays? Andrea, why do we do Fridays?
To join together and have fun as a community and learn together.
And bite it one bite at a time, because none of us knew how to do it. And so we get together and try to do it again each week. So we do it. And so we're staking and we're compounding some of our winnings every single Friday, at least, to try to learn. So like, we still struggle with a few things on liquidity farming of tag. We still get to this one point and we go, okay, now what's the best way to do this one? You know, because you could do one thing, or you could divide your tag, you could sell your tag and then divide it. You could match this coin to that coin and that coin to this coin, and oh man, it'll confuse you all to get out. So but if we do it each week together and just, you know, pick up a little bit on it, and then the same thing goes with you know, brand new to staking our Daisy coin, those that are in that. But even if you're not in Daisy and you watch us stake Daisy, you're going to know how to do that on almost any platform. So it's not about having to be a part of each of these things to learn. It's just about, what can I pick up by these guys doing it in front of us?
So When is that? I've tried to get on Friday and haven't figured out the system yet.
Okay, that's on this Zoom every
Okay.
week,
Okay.
8:30 a.m.
8:30. Okay.
Mountain time.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you using Coinbase or crypto.com, or what are you using?
I don't use Coinbase, but that's just me. They just have too many times that they take control of your money for as long as they want to, and I don't like that. But I also had an experience of being hacked with them, so I can't use Coinbase because they my bank won in a battle with them for $9,000, and they want me to reimburse that $9,000 in order to use them again, and I just won't do that. So nothing wrong with Coinbase, and that wasn't Coinbase's fault. That was a thief's fault that
Right.
I gave too much of my information to. So it wasn't Coinbase's fault. There's nothing wrong with Coinbase. Coinbase is fine, and they are one of the most up and coming. But I will also tell you, with Coinbase, you can guarantee everything. When they regulate, Coinbase is going to be the head of the regulated sites.
Oh, okay.
And crypto.com too. So those are the two.
Which one do you use, if I may ask?
I mainly use crypto.com right now and blockchain.
Blockchain. Okay.
Yeah, I like blockchain. And then I have my decentralized wallet of Exodus, which is sort of decentralized, but that's the most that's my safe, that I use that a lot too, but that can't be connected to a bank or a credit card or anything.
And anybody using crypto.com right now know they're having you set up a 2-factor authentication, and they will not let you transfer funds for 24 hours once it's set up to verify you. What is it? The whitelisting of
Right.
addresses that you're sending to external wallets.
But that's only certain blockchains. Okay, it's not every blockchain. So like there's some newer blockchains that go along with NFTs and stuff that you have to register the address that you're sending to, and then 24 hours later, once that's all verified, then they'll send it. So they're just safeguarding themselves until things tie in together, and that's a great sign, guys.
I was going to say, if they're asking for 2-factor, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's a great sign. All the more easy they're trying. What they're trying to do, it is make it easier, faster, better. But because of securities and so many thieves out there, they have to be on top of their game to do so. And if they're a platform that forces everybody to do 2-factor, once you're 2-factor, you're good to go. Meaning you should have a lot more. And then they're more good to go and launching new things for us to participate in and play in, because they're all launching their own NFTs. That's happening as we speak.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
Are we seeing any kind of convention in the future?
For
Our team or our teams?
well, we're kind of building a community now, less than a team. But as regulations come up and people get more into a sane place with COVID and everything, I love doing stuff like that. Everybody knows that. So we'll see where that leads us. But right now, for me, I'm really not team building. I'm community building, and there is a big difference, because I don't get paid off selling you guys Nexus. I get paid in the long run off the tides, off of all of us growing that network. And the more people the more people that participate in our community on these networks, the more programs that want to be a part of it. And I like the fact that we're making money together, more than apart. People thought that, like, I was OneCoin. People thought that I was IPN. They thought, oh man, I lost money here and it's all Tom's fault. Okay. Well, I love selling the concept that we're joining a community that we all own it by owning tokens.
Community building, not team building.
Yeah. Now we are building teams with tag somewhat, but that's only got about another 2-month span of sharing. So if you're sharing hashtags with people, that's only got about 2 months more, because once 100,000 hashtags is sold, that's done.
Hmm.
But then they'll be launching other programs with that. So go on to the WhatsApp streams, and Andrea, give everybody a chance to get onto the WhatsApp streams. But why don't we relaunch before you go to bed sometime or tomorrow morning? Relaunch. She don't go to bed ever. Her and Susan are up talking all night long.
Buying hashtags.
Susan waits for Jim to go to bed, and they just go to town. So
I think we found a good one yesterday. It's #1 today that she bought. So
yeah, Susan's got a #1 hashtag. So does Sarah. I'm jealous. I own 12 of them. They ain't damn one of them #1. But I got some good ones though. Okay. So what do we want to do here? We want to learn a little bit as you go. Just keep learning a little bit, learn a little bit, because I don't know half of what I need to know. But on the hashtag community, well, let me just quit talking there. But anyways, what I want you to do, Andrea, either tonight or tomorrow morning, is relaunch the emails you just put out, because they have all of the information in one place for people to grab. So join the WhatsApp streams that she has down there on the chat, or have somebody put you into them or whatever. And we'll keep trying to feed information that way. One thing I like about WhatsApp, guys, is after you join and people post things for a while, up in the right-hand corner in the 3 things, you can go to the media library, and you can pick up things that have been posted there for a long time on each page. So like if you went to the Daisy page, you could find things that we posted back way when or whatever.
now if they're Apple users, they have to click on the actual group name and then click on media.
There you go. So I knew it was different from Apple, but you Apple people, I don't understand you anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right. I love you guys. If I keep talking, I'm going to talk myself into saying something wrong about something else. So we'll just stop there and say, we love you. I'm going to keep trying to teach and keep trying to learn. Really, I'm trying to learn as I teach. But we're in a couple programs right now. They're a lot of fun. That's all dependent on you and your money making you money. So if you want your money to make you money, this is my goal for 2022, is to be diversified in things that when I wake up in the morning, I've made more money and while I'm sleeping. So I wish that upon all of you. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. God bless you all. Have a great night.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday to Laura tomorrow. Thomas, if we
Thanks.
want to send Laura a birthday card on the media, where would we do that?